Okay, so this morning the Prime Minister has a short announcement for us. I ask that we obey the housekeeping rules, phones on silent, and to also be courteous in our questioning. Prime Minister.
Thank you. Thank you, Press Secretary. So, I want to announce that this morning Mr. Verngard has been appointed by the Acting Governor General, acting on the advice of the Public Service Commission, as Acting Police Commissioner of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, effective 2nd September 2024. Mr. Gard was previously the Director of the Bodily Correctional Facility from October 2022, a position he held on 2 occasions, the first being over the period February 2015 to June 2018. Prior to taking up the position of Director of the Bodily Correctional Facility, in his first stint, he was a member of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force and head of the Special Branch Unit. Mr. Gard brings with him several years of experience in managing people and resources in the exercise of law enforcement. He has had responsibility at different times of heading the Ancillary Police Station, the Canwich Police Station, the Marigot Police Station, and the Marshall Police Station. Given the vexing issue of crime, it's important to note that having played an essential role in executing some of the development plans for the Central Intelligence Unit of the St. Lucia Police Force, a vital unit in crime fighting during his policing years, that the police under his leadership will have greater successes in the fight against crime. In addition to his on-the-ground experience, Mr. Gard has benefited from many professional courses ranging from drug enforcement, narcotics intelligence, general police intelligence, protective security, leadership and management, and gang investigations, and trainer programs. Mr. Gard holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice Law Enforcement and Administration. He has been recognized by Central Intelligence Unit of the United States for exemplary service, with the award of Distinguished Service being conferred on him. The United Kingdom Customs and Excise Unit and the United States Embassy in Bridgetown both formally recognize his work with memoranda of appreciation. In addition to the international community, Mr. Gard has received many awards for his professionalism and dedication in the field of law enforcement. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Crescenta Pelius for her stint and her role as Commissioner of Police. I wish Mrs. Pelius well, and thank her on behalf of the government and people of St. Lucia. I thank you.
Good morning, Prime Minister. Regarding Mr. Gard's appointment, is he on contract and how long would it be?
Mr. Gard is acting, is on contract in the first instance for over a period of 6 months. In the first instance.
Okay, and there's plans to extend, or why is it 6 months?
Yeah, because it's as you know, it's a it's a position that we must, that has to be carefully scrutinized, and it has to be, you have to look at the output, etc., and then after that a decision will be taken.
Okay, so you are looking also at other possible...
No, we at least not in the next 6 months.
Okay, I know last year when Mrs. Descartes was appointed to the post of the 1-year contract, it was said that, what you believed, because understand the officers that were already part of the top brass, that they would be undergoing management training and whatever else, so I guess meet the requisite skills that were needed to meet, for the office of commissioner. Why will not anyone chosen?
Well, they asked, the decision to train the hierarchy of the police force is ongoing and it's still going on.
So at this present moment, none of them fit
their training is still going on, but he decided at this time that it would have been better to appoint Mr. Gard, who's got extensive experience in training, extensive experience in police work, we thought it would be better at this point to appoint Mr. Vungan.
Prime Minister Jeremiah Joseph from the chairs. So, would you say, what's the morale of the police force are doing right now? Because with Christina Bedford, they said that she did enough work to ensure that the police been on a good footing. What would you say as the Prime Minister, the morale of the police force right now?
As I said, I thank Miss Pellius for the work she's done. You haven't got a measure of it's difficult to measure what's happening, but I know the police, their conditions of work have improved tremendously. The police have more resources than they ever had, possibly for a long time. Right now, we are building a new divisional headquarters for the police in the north. Something they wanted for quite a while. We're building new police stations. We're giving them new vehicles. We are completing the custody suites. We have 70 recruits being trained. Recruits have not been trained for almost a decade. So in terms of resources, in terms of equipping the police to do their job, that's happening. In terms of morale, I can't tell you, I can't judge it, but I can tell you I've got full cooperation from the High Command of the police force, and I wish them well. And this morning we had a meeting with the new commissioner, and they pledged their support to the new commissioner.
So are you concerned? I mean, there has been a high, recently the police brought the statistics that this year almost high on crime and...
No, they said it was high in murders, yes.
Murders.
There was actually a decline in crime.
Right.
Yeah. I just wanted to remind you.
Yes, sir, we know. So are you hoping that with Mr. Gandhi that...
Yeah, of course. We need continuous improvement. We need continuous improvement. Of course we need continuous improvement. We're hoping for improvement all the time.
And in light of that, sir, as the former commissioner left, she did indicate that they were going to have some investigation within the police force. Have you heard about this, and are you interested?
Investigation on what?
Investigation within the police.
On what?
Force, on sexual harassment.
A senior police officer within the executive.
Yeah, the commissioner, as I've told you many times before, and I'm going to repeat it again. The commissioner of police has full jurisdiction on the operations of the police force. The commissioner of police has full jurisdiction on the operations of the police force. The commissioner of police declares that there needs to be an investigation. The Minister of National Security will not interfere. And that position holds. It held for the last commissioner. It will hold for this commissioner.
Do you know, sir, if there's anyone from the outside that has come in to investigate this?
I was told by the commissioner that there is somebody from Impacts to look into this matter. I've been told so by the former commissioner. I've been told so, yes.
Good morning, Mr. PM. Gregory Hamilton from Choice TV. You just mentioned Impacts. Impacts may be one of the contributing factors.
No, the Impact I mentioned was the name of the organization.
I'm going to my question.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to care.
Yeah,
the Impact was the name of the organization.
Yeah. The Impact, would you say it's a factor in getting our policemen to be properly trained? Because we have only had 2 trained commissioners, and both of them are presently out of the force.
2 trained commissioners?
Yes. When I said for commissioner, only 2. It's, I believe, is Mr. From Denry, Mr. Regis, and the last minister for the police under the last administration. That's the 2 official men we have trained as commissioners. To date, we have not had any. I did my investigation. Okay, so do they say that the impacts is sort of like plaguing us in the sense of our policemen getting the proper training to be commissioners? That's why maybe we have a problem of succession today.
And impacts happened in 2009. You said there have been no trained commissioners from 2009 or before 2009. I don't know what you mean by trained commissioners. I don't know what you mean by trained commissioners. But anyhow,
the commissioner training is only 2.
Okay, all right. Okay. I don't think impacts. No impacts. I don't think impacts has anything to do with that.
But
No,
presently
I don't think
we don't
so.
have any train as they said it was only 2, and we have not had any train. So that means we have a problem with a succession plan for a commissioner.
I hear you.
Yeah, this Reginald Andrew from The Voice Publishing. Yeah, you mentioned the vast experience of Mr. Gadd, as well as the local, his local stint. He's also been in the region, and now a lot of emphasis on the RSS and the regional, approach. Do you think his experience in the wider regional international affairs will in some way enhance, or boost the management, the operations of the force at this time?
Yeah, well, as I said, Mr. Gadd comes highly trained. He's worked out of St. Lucia. He comes highly trained in all aspects of policing. He's an experienced police officer. He started from within the ranks and he's risen. So I have no doubt in my mind that his experience and his training should augur well for the future of the police force.
And talking about the succession plan, would Mr. Gadd also be in the reckoning in line for the succession plan? I mean, since he's
Yes.
capable of it.
As any police officer, he is in line, like any police officer. Any police officer is in line to succeed. The job of commissioner of police is not a poor man's job. So, as any police officer is. But this time, we thought it was right that Mr. Gadd be appointed acting commissioner of police at this time.
So, Prime Minister, Mr. Gadd was the former director of the BCA. What becomes of the BCA now?
Well, the BCA has a hierarchical structure. Somebody is acting, and hopefully we will be able to confirm this appointment, this acting appointment, very shortly.
Is that Mr. Terrence?
I think Mr. Terrence, according to the hierarchical structure, Mr. Terrence is acting commissioner, acting director of bodily.
Okay. Another question, but not related to what you announced. Information has surfaced that a bank, TD Bank, a bank from Canada, has commenced the termination of its correspondent banking with a bank here in St. Lucia. So I'll confirm if you have received such information and your thoughts on this.
I've got no such information, and I've understood that the Bank of St. Lucia will make it a statement very shortly. So I'll allow the bank to make that statement, but I've got not such information. But expect a statement from Bank of St. Lucia very, very shortly. They will make a statement on that scenario, if that scenario is accurate. I'm waiting for the confirmation. That's it.